Hi, welcome back to Echoes from the Quiet Corner. I am Shreya. I have noticed multiple personalities around me for years. The friend who always says yes, the boss who always needs to be right, the person who slowly vanishes when life gets tough. I used to wonder, why do people do this? Where does this come from? Can we ever stop? That curiosity led me deeper into psychology, and today we are going on that journey together. Not to fix people, but to understand them, and maybe to understand ourselves. This episode is about who you are underneath the roles you play. Let's begin. I don't remember the exact moment I began curating myself for the world, but I remember the feeling. You probably do too. The moment in school when your love felt too loved. The time you said something honest and someone raised an eyebrow. Time you dared to show confidence and it was mistaken for arrogance. That's when the filtering began. We edit ourselves, hold back, tuck pieces of who we are into drawers labeled too much, too emotional, too weird. And slowly we start living a life based on predicted perception, how we think people want us to be. Here's something wild. Most people don't know you, not really. They only know the version of you that passed through their filters, their moods, their biases, their own anxieties. To one person, you're too quiet. To another, too bold, too ambitious, too sensitive, too distant, too intense. And yet, none of those versions are you. They're just shadows. So, why do we keep trying to please them? Because somewhere along the way, we thought approval equals safety. And that's the trap. We become fluent in other people's expectations, but foreign in our own desires. We try to fix this by explaining ourselves. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I'm not really like that. I was just tired. We soften, disclaim, apologize for our edges. But no matter how carefully we explain, someone will still misread. You could write the perfect sentence and someone will still twist it. Wear the perfect outfit and someone will still say it's too much. Be kind and they'll call you fake. Be strong and they'll call you rude. You cannot edit yourself into universal acceptance, and you were never meant to. The saddest part isn't that others misread us, it's that we start misreading ourselves. We forget who we were before we started shrinking. We remember the words we didn't say, the poems we never posted, the dreams we buried in silence. That quiet ache, that's not loneliness, that's the queef of self abandonment. And it builds every time you silence your truth, every time you dim your light, until one day you're not even performing anymore. You've just forgotten the script of your real self. People often think solitude is emptiness. But what if it's not absence but return? What if being alone isn't about being unloved but about loving yourself enough to sit with the discomfort, to hear your own voice beneath the noise? It's not always pretty. Sometimes it's cold leftovers, silent walks. Sometimes it's laughter that echoes with no applause. But there is a shift. Suddenly, you don't need someone watching to make the moment meaningful. Suddenly, your company doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like home. Make no mistake, being real isn't aesthetic. It's not just dancing in your room or journaling in golden light. It's messy. It's resisting the urge to perform. It's choosing not to send that please like me text. It's letting someone misread you and not rushing to correct it. It's sitting in silence when your mind screams for attention. It's listening to the voice that says, I miss being me, and honoring it. That's the detox. And on the other side of it, freedom. Being you means doing things because they pull you, not because they'll be applauded. What books light you up, even if no one's watching? What hobbies feel sacred, even if they are not productive? What dreams have you buried because they didn't make sense to anyone else? Living truthfully isn't about shouting who you are, it's about becoming who you are in moments no one else sees. It's about building a life that feels like yours, not a resume of approval, but a rhythm of truth. Every time you say no to pleasing, every time you stop explaining, Every time you choose stillness over performance, you reclaim yourself. That's your quiet rebellion. You don't have to be bold or loud. You just have to be honest. Even if it's scary, even if it's misunderstood, because your life is not a marketing campaign, it's a poem. And you don't write poetry to be approved, you write it to be real, to be felt. So let them misunderstand, let them mislabel, let them think what they will. And while they're busy defining you in the small rooms of their minds, you live, you breathe, you laugh, you create, you come home to yourself. Because the most radical thing you can do in a world that thrives on noise is to be still and know that you're enough. You always were. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be real, be gentle, and be you. Bye.